up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
The charges are absolutely disgusting. We are starting to see a disgusting picture unfold before our very eyes. Stefan Stern's charges have been upgraded to 60 additional charges. That's correct. Many of us are reeling, just wondering what this poor girl went through in her short life on this earth. I'm not going to go through the charges that he has been charged with. They are deplorable. They are disgusting. And some of them happened before she was 12 years old. Stefan Stearns was a predator. Monsters like this do not deserve to breathe the same air as we do. And what he did to this young girl, we will never forgive him for. May she rest in peace. Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here, giving you breaking daily updates related to the Sebastian Rogers case. This is going to blow your mind, guys. I've been personally covering the case of Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from Hendersonville, Tennessee. His mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, came out and told their stories in this interview about what transpired related to the disappearance of their 15-year-old son. Katie, Sebastian's mother, describes the day before he disappeared, Sunday, February 25th. They went to BJ's, he got a colossal popcorn, he was just a very happy, jovial young man, and they came home, put some snacks away, and then they went to a local bowling alley, and next to the bowling alley was a steakhouse where they ate. After they ate, they loaded up and went home. He took out the garbage, and the rest is history. He goes to bed at 9 p.m., Mom goes to bed at midnight, she awakes at 6 a.m. to wake Sebastian up as she normally does, and he's gone. Christopher Proudfoot states that he was not even in the area at the time that Sebastian left the home, that he was many miles away as he was working in Memphis and staying in his camper in Mississippi. A lot of people watching this case unfold became very, very skeptical of both Katie and Christopher Proudfoot's story about what happened leading up to Sebastian's disappearance. Many people noticed the deep abrasion scratches in some areas looking like bite marks on Christopher Proudfoot's arms some 8 days after Sebastian disappeared. Seth Rogers, which is Sebastian's biological father, decided to start doing some ground searches and raised money on a GoFundMe page to aid those efforts. Christopher Proudfoot threatened Sebastian's father in a lawsuit related to the GoFundMe page and also the fact that Seth appeared to make the other side of the family, look bad. Many people went out searching for Sebastian Rogers, and the one thing that was missing out of all the efforts volunteers put forth was Christopher and Katie Proudfoot. And when people asked them why they weren't out searching for their very son that went missing from their home, they told people that it was because law enforcement told them to stay home. However, that very evening, they were seen at a barbecue joint outside of the home enjoying a dinner. Meanwhile, never once searching for their very son that they say they care about and want to come home. Media was in an uproar, demanding answers from both Katie and Christopher Proudfoot why they're not helping with any searches for their son. And what was their response? They got in their camper, packed it up, and took off. Sebastian's mom and stepfather took off to a campground in Mississippi where they returned home for a short while and then returned back to this campground. Right now, it appears that the camper is still at this mobile home park or RV park with Chris's truck, but we have confirmed Chris is not staying there and has installed a camera on the camper. There are so many people curious as to why there's a camera on this camper, but not on their home before Sebastian Rogers walked out that door. The sheriff was very cordial at the beginning of this search for Sebastian when he truly believed both Katie and Chris Proudfoot were deemed innocent and had no culpability in the disappearance of their son. If you look at the newest interview Nick Barris has with this very sheriff, you see a much different demeanor. Does this case anger me? You darn right. Does it make me want to almost lose my mind? You darn tootin'. Chris and Katie have a lot of explaining to do because what I just laid out for you is only a minor, small amount of the case against them.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
What is up, my beautiful coffee beans out there on YouTube and X? It's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining the Bullhorn Betty channel. Why do I look ridiculous? Because we have a mod in chat, and it is her birthday. Oh, wrong one. I don't know, maybe that was the right one. How old are you? Oh, you don't have to tell us. You don't have to tell us. Jen, happy birthday. She made me do this, okay? She absolutely demanded me singing today. So I decided to get in a ridiculous costume to wish her a happy birthday. And I don't know what voice is going to come out of me, but we're going to wish her a happy birthday. So Jen, is it ready? Hello? Hello? I don't think it's ready. I don't think the voice is ready. I haven't done a birthday song in a really long time. All right, let's do it. Everybody join in with me. Sorry. Gotta get, the pipes are a little rusty today. They're just not wanting to cooperate. Jen, I don't know about you. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my love Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. All right, there's your entertainment for today. Case closed. I will see y'all mañana. Have a great day. Goodbye. Okay, I'm lying. Let me get this stuff on. We gotta make it fun every now and again. Every now and again. There you go, Jennifer. Happy birthday from Bullhorn Betty to you. All right, my beautiful coffee beans are up in the house. It's nice to see you. TGIF, right? Sue, it's nice to see you. Good morning, our beautiful Jen. Happy birthday. Maybe I should do that voice instead. Days, it's nice to see you. Mama Llama is up in the house this morning. It's nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. Robin, it's nice to see you. Cecilia, good morning, love. Who else do we have in the house? We got a lot of birthday wishes. There better be more. Southern's up in the house. It's nice to see you, my love. Who else do we have? Our Whip, nice to see you. Linda, good morning. It's nice to see you. Lulu's Nana, El Fig, blah, blah, blah's up in the house saying, I'm with you, blah. Melly Cat, it's nice to see you. Deborah, it's nice to see you as well. Good morning. Who else did I feel like I'm missing people. Sasha, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Sweet Misery. Guys, don't forget, Sweet Misery is running the trial of the father, the treadmill trial, right? A really poor excuse. You know, to be honest with you, you see this man walking around, you would never think that he is the monster that he is. What he did to his son was absolutely despicable and deplorable. And in these cases, it's not all about just going to the arrest. What did they find along the way? What really happened to that little boy? Sweet Misery is running that trial, so please go over there, sub her up, and if you guys are interested in that trial, please, enjoy it with her. Enjoy it with her with some good commentary. It's nice to see you. Good morning, Stephanie. Heather, it's nice to see you all here this morning. Good morning. Kathy, Bluebird, Kays, lie to me. Don't lie to me. Lie to me. Don't lie. We don't like liars. Definitely don't like liars lying to me. Snooky, it's nice to see you. Good morning, GE girl. Stacy. Good morning, Kim. It's nice to see you all here. If I missed anybody, Ginger, it's nice to see you. I see you. What else do we have? Highness? Is that right? Highness? Well, good morning, Highness. It's nice to see you. Shannon. If I missed you guys coming in, feel that love. Feel the love. I love that. Aw, thank you, Southern. God bless you. Jen, see, you're already making me money on your birthday. Who knew? Jeez. Maybe anybody else got birthday? I'm just joking. Good grief. All right, guys. So we're going to quickly go into some updates, and then we're going to move right over to the meat and potatoes of this. So obviously some breaking news. Good morning, Kelly. It's nice to see you, love. Nana, it's nice to see you. Team Sebastian. Amen. So we've been following the Meline Sodo case. A lot of us had our opinions. I wasn't willing to kind of condemn mom. And still, I'm a little frustrated, obviously, but I'm kind of in a mixed feeling. And I think there might be a few people that might be in the same boat as me. Because, there's a lot of people that are like, oh my God, she slept in the bed with mommy and daddy. How gross. And I'm just like, I don't know how many times I crawled in bed with my mommy, and in between my mommy and my daddy. Now, granted, this is not her dad, right? This is not her dad. And I get that. But when you have young children, like 7, 8 years old, they have nightmares. And whether you have a stepfather in bed or not, sometimes you got to plop the kid between you. Okay? I'm stepmom. I got experience with my own grandkids, right? When they wake up and they're crying and they're freaking out, you got to go to work the next day. So, I'm kind of, the problem I have is her sleeping by herself alone with the stepfather. But I'm trying to be fair here because she was such a young girl when he get introduced into her life that it's almost as if she looked at him like a father figure. And I would have to think people around him looked at him as a father figure. I don't know if anybody seeing a father and a daughter, knocked out watching TV and falling asleep is going to raise an eyebrow. But now we know this situation, and it's so disgusting to me that, he had that trust of not only Jen, but also Meline. And God knows, I don't even want to think about it. I just, the idea of her mom being zonked out on medication, and I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. But I'm starting to get a little more frustrated because, this day and age, we've got a lot of sickos out there. We got a lot of sickos out there. And I'm not saying step-parents are bad people. Good Lord knows I got a great step-parent in my life. Right? So I can't sit there and of course my step parent came when I was 15. So there's no sleeping in bed between mommy and daddy. So, there was none of that, but when you're dealing with younger children, I mean, think about it, blended families, you can't tell me there hasn't been a time that your significant other wasn't watching TV and both your child and your significant other, fell asleep or something like that. I mean, you want the step parent to love your child, obviously the right ways, right? And how dysfunctional would a house be if you're freaking out every time your male partner's around your children? It's uncomfortable. So what do you do here? What do you do here? I don't know. Now, if this is going on where she's 13 years old and still sleeping in bed with Stefan by himself, I'm sorry, that's creepy for me. But if this happened, when she was 8, 9, I don't know if I would have really raised an eyebrow to it. Now I'm raising an eyebrow to it because we know what kind of monster this guy is. So I don't know. I guess this little segment here. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. God bless. I think this segment here is just, how do you guys feel about that? Like, I'm a mixed bag over this. I'm a mixed bag. Like, I'm angry. I think that the best way to describe, because a child is gone, obviously. A child was brutalized for a long time. And then when she was probably just about to get some relief from that abuse, she's gone. She doesn't even remember life without abuse. And she was made to deal with that abuse silently. And I can't. The grotesque things that were released that I can't really say, I can't describe here. But what I will say is that if she wanted, when she was 8 years old, if she wanted to play with a phone, play on a phone, play a game, she had to pay the piper, literally. I tell you what, I'm not a violent person. I've had violence in my life. I do not like violence. But I tell you what, a man like this, I don't know how law enforcement is controlling themselves. Because to be honest with you, I want to just rip his head off. what he did to this little girl. And so we're hearing a lot about ballistics. We have to remember he was a toting, boom boom, poo poo toting guy. So could he have? I'm kind of a mixed bag with that too, because it sounds like the one little tidbit, a sliver of information I got out of everything that's been released is they think whatever happened to her happened inside the home. So I would have to think if he used a poo-poo that it would have been very loud and noticeable for Jen Soto. I don't think he would have been able to disguise the sound of that inside that home. So I think it's another method that he ended up unaliving her without obviously a whole lot of sound. Because again, from what we're led to believe, mom was inside the home at the time. She came home the night before. She would have still been sleeping or getting up or moving about the house. So there's that. All right, guys. So obviously that's not what you're here for. You guys are here for some breaking news information. I'm sure everybody under the sun has been going stir crazy with some of the information that was dropped. I can personally tell you that when I heard this, I didn't know what to think. So I'm going to take you guys back to my TikTok. I know that the TikTok download got all the... it's hard for me to bring people up on the live because I use these lives to create videos here for YouTube. And when I bring these lives up, it stills my photo. And so if somebody tries to come in up on the panel, it gets my voice off. So that's why if you notice that my voice, I've got to do some things behind the scenes so those things don't happen, because as I'm doing more and more lives, people are trying to approach the channel, but they don't realize it's that, I mean, I guess I'm going to have a kind of a live like this where people can come up on panel and talk to me directly over on TikTok and just do those over there that aren't going to be, downloaded just for the audience. But that's what happened. That's why the videos are kind of getting off with the stuff. I try to fix them when I can, but my editing software last night was jamming up on me, so I couldn't really get a good place to cut it off at or to detach the audio to adjust it. So I just let it roll with it. I figured most people are probably getting ready in the morning anyways. They're probably just going to be listening to it. They're not going to see if my lips sync with the information. So I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to bring this up on here so you guys could see the actual video. And so that's what we're going to do right now. And this is on my live. So you guys get to hear what I heard last night, and then we'll get over to the new information.
That Sebastian was talking to KP's mom the night before. Hold
on. Sorry, guys. It gets a little sticky. I know I'm all the way at the end. Let me see where she comes up. I think it's right there. It's not letting me do it. All right, so let me just come back here until this gets situated. Let me just refresh it. I just don't want you guys seeing it while it's clicking. TikTok is such a finicky son of a gun. It really is. Okay, so let me get this up. I think we're almost here. Okay, here it is. It won't let me request a box. Oh, it's probably turned off. You know what? Let me hold on here. We haven't covered. We're just getting started. You haven't missed anything. Okay, request everybody else don't come up here. I don't really, just let her grab that. Go down there and try it again and see if you can come up here. Oh, I got a couple of people back here. There's Natasha. There's Natasha. Hey,
Hi. Okay, so I was just in another creators live, and Tony, the spokesperson.
Hold on a second. Do you know a Carlos?
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, Carlos. Try again.
So Tony just said he had new information.
Thank you, Tina.
That Sebastian was talking to KP's mom the night before he went missing, as well as.
Now I want to pause this here. It's probably going to screw up. I may have to let it go through, but I wanted to pause it here because, to be honest with you, This is the RSO mom of Katie Proudfoot that we've talked about. We're learning that she spoke to Sebastian.
Now footage after midnight of Sebastian, but they're not stating where, when, they don't know anything else, but that's what
Hey, Miss Robin.
he just stated. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention because that
nice to
is
see
new
you.
info.
Going back to this, so he was seen after midnight.
Correct. So hence why they changed it to the 26th instead of the 25th.
Okay. And what was the other part? KP. So now let me ask. So Katie's mom talked to her?
No, so Sebastian was communicating with KP's mom the night before.
You mean CP's mom?
Katie's.
Katie's mom? That's what I was asking. Katie's
Yes. That's what he said.
The one that harmed her own daughter.
Yeah, so this is coming from Tony's mouth. So I'm just letting you guys know. This is what he stated. He doesn't know. He won't state like what they were communicating about or anything like that. But that's all he said. Katie's mom.
Yeah, but people have been looking at her.
Mm-hmm. But that's all the information he is on Beaches Live. That's where I heard him speak about it. He said this is new information.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming over here and letting me know. I do.
Of course.
Yeah.
All
right. God bless, hon.
You too.
Bye-bye. So, wow, you guys, you know what? We need to look at this, that this actually might be a good thing.
So that's how I learned. That was on my live last night on TikTok. If you guys aren't a member of TikTok, I usually download them and bring them over here so everybody over here can see, because the lives over there, that's not like YouTube. They literally delete from behind the scenes after 30 days. They're never, once you do a live over on TikTok, it's done. You don't see it again. So unless you download it, and even downloading it, it does some funky stuff to it. So that's why I went ahead and played it from directly from TikTok, from my live creator database behind the scenes. So you guys could see exactly what I had. So naturally, I'm like, what was really said? Because the telephone game, it was a valuable lesson that we learned in school about how information can be, you can hear one thing and each person repeats it, and by the end of it, we have a totally different something said. We have something totally different than what was originally stated. So I have a problem when I hear stuff like this, and of course it was on a live on TikTok that I couldn't go immediately over and look at. So I've been sitting here thinking, what was really said. And so I reached out to Tony just to ask him, what new information was said, what information was found out. I wanted to get it from the horse's mouth. So I had a good conversation with Tony this morning about what was actually stated. And so they're very unclear about, where the video was taken and stuff like that. It's just that they were informed that there is a video that identifies Sebastian Rogers after the midnight time frame. Where that is, what that is, where it came from, we also do not know. From my conversation with Tony, he keeps people confidential. So it was Stephen that came up on the panel and kind of told on himself and said where it came from. So he went out there and spoke to a detective. A lot of people are saying, why would a detective speak with you and stuff like that. It's one thing being on the phone with somebody, being there in person. Typically, if you guys recall, whenever we were in Tennessee for the Summer Wells case, our group ended up going inside, and we ended up spending 2 hours with law enforcement one day and 2 hours with law enforcement the next day, giving them the information that we had, found out through our efforts out there in that area. So the idea that they don't speak to people
is one thing. Now, one thing about law enforcement when we were there, they were very reserved in what they told us. And they didn't tell us a whole lot, but they definitely listened and took the information that we had and previewed it and had some discussions with them over it. But do I think that a law enforcement agent would not speak? I think at this point, I do believe Stephen spoke to him. I don't have any doubt that he walked in there. I don't see why that man would make up a story that he walked in, into a law enforcement and had an opportunity to speak with somebody. I absolutely believe he did, because to be honest with you, even in Utah, if you guys remember, Moab, Utah, Kim Neal, remember him? The Lieutenant Kim Neal that never liked anybody giving him any kind of tips, leads, or anything, just a real pompous a-hole. He sat down with us. So it's this idea that law enforcement doesn't sit down with normal Joes and talk to them and listen and listen to them about their cases or their concerns or address their concerns on an individual basis. I truly believe they do. I anticipate that this is something that they are planning on giving out. They wouldn't provide him any information that they wouldn't be wanting out, in my opinion. But I do absolutely believe he went to the law enforcement department. I believe that he did go into the law enforcement department, and I do believe somebody did speak to him. I'm going to say that here with, I don't know if I'm not there, but I know that I've had those experiences myself. Olivia's had those experiences herself. MGL's had those experiences herself. We've had those experiences ourselves. So I can't say whether he's 100%, but I can tell you that if we've had those experiences, I would assume that other people that go and ask the questions or go meet with law enforcement or take the time out to do that would be met in the same respect. So just FYI. I guess the question now is what was actually said, right? What was actually said? So here is what was actually said.
We got additional footage.
Hold on.
Of Sebastian on the 26th, and we thought that the last footage they had was on the 25th. So we know now they've got additional footage. The biggest thing I think is that we got information from them that they had a theory the first 72 hours, and after 72 hours, that theory took a 180-degree turn, and that's what I think was the biggest information.
So during this, I guess, meeting with law enforcement, let me see if I can make this bigger. Maybe this one. There we go. So this meeting with law enforcement provided a little bit of details. So we know for the first, if this is the information and it's coming right from the horse's mouth, then we have to look at that. So if for any reason they were on one mindset for about 72 hours, according to the spokesperson for Seth Rogers, then we know that they were looking for this boy, as a missing person. Something happened within 72 hours that changed this, that changed the environment, that made them start thinking something else could have happened. So what was that? They believe it's this video that nobody knows about or hasn't seen. And here's another thing, and it's going to get onto another video where they're like, well, why would they tell you this? And why wouldn't they or put the video out there? They don't put videos out there to appease the public. They put the videos out there when they need information. If people honestly believe law enforcement is actually going to throw all of their evidence out to the public, they've got a rude awakening. I don't know how long they've been in this true crime business, but in all fairness, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That's why we use our platforms to publicly pressure law enforcement to giving us some type of detail. Do I believe it's working? I do, because like I said, and like I had anticipated, people are getting antsy out here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The community is pissed. Their community is pissed. They are blowing up the DA's office. We've got people calling the sheriff's office at alarming numbers. And if you guys want to call them, I recommend you do. Because if they can tell this to, again, Stephen, then they can tell this to the public. And if they want people to call individually, well, then by God, let's give them what they want. Let's give them what they want. If they want us all to call up there individually to find out the details of this case so they don't have to make a public statement, then fine. Let's call up to the Hendersonville Sheriff's Department. It sounds like there's a whole host of people already doing it because it's not me pushing it. These are the community members that live and reside in that community. You see where I'm at? I ain't going nowhere. Where am I going? Nowhere. Where am I at? Home. So nobody can sit here on these streets and say that anything this is coming from anywhere for Bullhorn Betty, because they like to throw my name in their mouth quite a bit, saying I do this and I do that. And I've been saying for a long time, it ain't me. People in the community do these things without social media. Who knew? Who flippin' knew? That's not really the one I wanted. I think it's this one. Is it this one? There it is. So, if we have these people out there, I have made the suggestion on here. I've made the suggestion here. I have reached out to Nick Barris. I have expressed my concerns to Tony to let law enforcement know, look, just have a public relations. Put a press release out detailing all the factual information. Do that every few days so everybody knows. And if there's any new nugget of information, it can be thrown on that press release. It literally will take 5 minutes out of their day to tamper down a whole host of issues. Literally a whole host of issues. And they won't do it. So let's just keep listening to what's going on here. In this, we found out that there is something that definitely has caused some issues with the timeline. And that is, it appears that there is some type of video surveillance evidence or some type of video that has seen Sebastian or something. I don't know if it's, we don't know what's on the tape. So could it have been Sebastian? It sounds like from what Stephen says, they acknowledge that there is a tape that Sebastian is on it after midnight. After midnight. And that's why they changed the date of him missing from February 25th, because the last time he was seen was February 25th at 10 p.m. Now they've changed it to February 26th because of this new information, this stuff. And it sounds like whatever they had, which I had anticipated within 3 days, that there was something not right with this case. So at what point did Chris decide to go back to pick up that camper and go on a 17-hour tour? Who believes that nonsense? Just asking.
What do you think is the biggest information? Which part do you think is the biggest the biggest new information, Tony? Sorry, I missed that.
Let me bring
Body.
Because we went backwards, and when we looked at the information, it said that the last sighting or the last date was on the 26th, somewhere on what is it, Court Drive or wherever, the street name, not the house, not that location, which is where we started.
That's interesting. So they said that they didn't see, they're assuming, I need to make this assumption because it's not coming from Tony. This is her recollection. We'll get to Tony's statement. You'll hear him. But they're basically saying that in the statement, they said that he went missing from his house on February 26th from Stafford Court. They didn't actually say from his home on Stafford Court, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll go and look at the NamUs and endangered person flyer and see what information and see what's changed. I haven't done that yet. We'll do that live here together.
The question, there has to be some type of footage after the house, or for them to say that it was somewhere on
TBI poster. I said it from the beginning. It says he was last seen on February 26th in the area of Stafford Court. I made like 37 videos about this.
In the area of Stafford Court. in the area. So, that could be something, y'all. I don't know if it is or not, but to me, it seems like it could be. So, thank you, Miss Robin.
Knew they had fucking footage of him. I knew it.
Hi, Bonnie.
I knew it.
Body's right. So what do you think this means? What does everybody like? So what? Let's have it. What does this mean? What do you guys think this means?
I'm telling you, I think he left on his own. I really do, you guys.
I'm not sure, guys. I think this information could, well, we don't know how they saw him on the video. Remember, we have to unfortunately remember the details of Meline Sodo, right? We have to remember the details of Meline Sodo. She was also caught on camera that morning, right? She was also caught on camera that morning. But she was caught on camera that morning, slumped over in the front seat of a car. Her mom's boyfriend's car. They believe she was deceased at that moment. So how did they see Sebastian? It's kind of crazy because these two cases, these two people disappeared on the same day. But this new information, does it throw the abduction theory back into the mix? Is the abduction theory back into the mix? Now, it could be. But then why such strange behaviors from the parents? Could it be because maybe Peter Hyatt was right? They put him out. What if there's something else that we are not considering? There might be a lot of stuff that we're not considering now that we have this information. The Bower socks. We heard that the Bower socks, actually, you know what? Let's go back just a little bit. One of the other major key factors is we've learned about Katie and her past. Okay. I don't want to, put anything out here, that is, it's hard for me as a victim myself, not of that, what she dealt with at all, but, a victim of SA. It's kind of hard for, me to discuss those things when I know it's hard because I think it's a private situation, but I do think it has relevance in this case because there's a missing child, if that makes sense. Because when people have a lot of childhood trauma, there's a lot of effects that it has in the adulthood. Okay. We have a lot of our adult problems are traumas we had from children. For example, if traumas can be good, good or bad, different experiences, but I'm going to say traumas for bad. Okay. And experiences for good. So you can have really bad traumas, like somebody telling you that you're constantly worthless. Okay. Say that your parents were verbally abusive and told you how stupid you were and how ignorant you are and how you're dumb and you're worthless and they can't wait for you to get out of the house and get out of their hair and stuff like that. That child will grow up to want to be a perfectionist, most likely, right? They want everybody to see them as this perfect human being because they've been told their whole life that they're trash. So and when people fault them, they blow a gasket because it's a childhood trauma. It's a childhood trauma. So these traumas do affect us in our adulthood. How can that affect somebody in their adulthood? It may make it more difficult to work at a job under somebody, right? When somebody has to be critical of you. So those people work very hard to be on top of everybody else so they don't have to be criticized because they're perfectionists. So there's a lot that goes in there, and a lot of it could be childhood trauma. So when I hear these things, a lot of this childhood trauma could play into this. It could play into our psyche, into how well she functions with certain stresses, and how quick fused is she? Is she more of a docile person, and Chris is more of the bullheaded person, or is she normally the bullheaded person and Chris is the docile person? We have our opinions based on what we are seeing today, but do we really know? I mean, we only know from when their life blew up on them. We don't know what it was before. We only see these people now. So does it bring the abduction theory back on the table? And could that abduction theory, we know how horrible Katie's mom is, and what Katie's mom has put her and probably a lot of other people through, which is really horrible to think about. Why would she allow her mom to speak to Sebastian? And how long has this been going on? Has it been recent? Has it been recent? Because if this all of a sudden happened where she finally allowed her son to speak to her mother after all these years, could that be a hint of premeditation? You see how new information can really change theories? And with this new information, we've just changed from it being Chris and Katie to it now being potentially an abduction or premeditation, just by having one new tidbit of information come out. It can be used for both theories. So what does this new information mean to you? I'm going to play a little bit more of this, and then we're going to open up the phone lines, and I'm going to let you guys fill me in on what you think this new information means to you. I can tell you we don't know what is in that video. We're hearing from a third party. We know he went to the law enforcement body. We know he went to the sheriff's office. We know he went inside the sheriff's office. He did speak to somebody. We have to trust what he says happened. Now, this is the only nuance that I will say is no matter how good we are, it still comes back to telephone. So there may still be something that he thinks that he's stating correctly that still he may have misunderstood, right? So we have to put the human element in this as well. So there may be something that's slightly off base, but for the full context, it does sound like this is truly what happened. And instead of attacking this man or calling this man a liar, maybe just listen to what he has to say, because to be honest with you, I believe him. I believe he went into the law enforcement, and I believe that somebody did speak to him, and I believe that this information was told to him by a law enforcement agent. And the reason why I believe that is because it was still very vague. Yes, we have a video showing Sebastian after midnight. That's the very vague, direct to the point. It's a tidbit of information. If he really wanted to lie about it, he could have really made made this something like, oh yeah, they saw him from the neighbor's camera down the road walking down a sidewalk, right? If he really wanted to lie. So that's just my opinion. I don't know what's going on with this person. I didn't go into law enforcement. Can I tell you, is it plausible that they would have sat and spoke to a normal Joe? Yes, I absolutely do believe it. I have plenty of experiences that says just the same, because I've had those same experiences. We've had law enforcement give us details that were not publicly available, but it was, it wasn't anything that went to the heart or the integrity of the investigation, and they have let us know. So yeah, I mean, I do believe it is possible, without a doubt. But we have to trust him for how the conversation went. That's the one thing. Looking at him, the guy doesn't look like he's trying to misguide the case to me. I didn't get that vibe from him. I know somebody's going to make a mountain out of a molehill. This is social media, right? So you're going to have people do that. But at the end of the day, I think it was good information, but I don't think it was that unknown. We knew that there was many videos, right? We knew that he had to have been seen the 26th. We knew that this is a probability. Somebody just confirmed it. That's it. To be honest with you, I'm not that shocked that they have a video. What I'm shocked about is that we learned that Katie's mom was speaking to Sebastian, and I will tell you, I heard that a couple weeks ago, honestly. I heard that a couple weeks ago in a back chat, and I didn't believe it because there was so much misinformation going on. And if I can't corroborate it and I don't know how to corroborate it, I gloss over it. If I think it's notable, then I'll bring it up here to you guys as, but with the history that we learned about Katie's mom, I'm like, there's no way this lady's speaking to her mother, you know? Apparently I was wrong. Now, to me, that is the most notable information. Not that there was a video. I mean, I'm glad we've confirmed that there was a sighting of him. That's a mind blown, right? So let's just finish this up. I'll finish this video out just a little bit, and then we'll open up the phone lines and we'll let you guys talk.
You think he left on his own?
Well, I'll tell you why I don't think that. I think that they thought that the first 72 hours, but for them to say they had a 180-degree turn after that, I don't think that they believe that anymore.
Who did they say that to?
I didn't hear that part.
Stephen.
Yo.
Gosh, this is just pissing me off. Like, this is wild to me that they are telling me this, Stephen.
I asked the question, was this a criminal investigation or not? He said that information has already been put out there. And I said, what do you mean by that? The TBI spoke about this already. I said, I seen something, but it didn't mean it was factual. I thought it was coming from hearsay. Well, he said, I can tell you that in the first 24 hours, it was a runaway. After that, it turned into a missing case. Then he said, I can tell you that 72 hours into this, we had a whole nother direction we were going.
I honestly believe, you guys heard it from him. I honestly believe law enforcement has been in a criminal investigation and will not say it. Because you see how he danced around that entire question. That's why I believe that he did have a conversation with law enforcement, because this is word salad. This is word salad. So I do believe this man talked to law enforcement because he's given us a dish of word salad. And I'm sorry, nobody does word salad better than law enforcement or politicians. Okay? So they're saying that, yes, this was a missing person. Yes, it changed, or this was a runaway. Then it changed to a missing person. And then when it started getting into the details of whether this is a criminal investigation, what did the law enforcement tell him? That it was after 72 hours that the case did a 180-degree turn. Still not answering the question as to whether this is a criminal investigation. That to me is word salad.
We started collecting footage from all areas that we can look at.
I want you to hear this. We're going to back it up just a little bit. Let's see here. Let's back it up to right here. We're going to start over here, and I'm just going to let it play through.
2 hours into this, we had a whole nother direction we were going. We started collecting footage from all areas that we can look at with all cameras to see what we could come up with, to see whether he really walked off or somebody got him. He said a lot of the cameras were actually, we had a lot of good camera footage in the area. There was a lot of people that brought that forward, right? And he said,
a lot of good camera footage from the area.
So that's where that everybody not coming forward. That's why we that was funny because Tony confirmed that just then. I've kept that to myself, actually. So the people had came forward. The only thing that was that was late in coming forward, and it's sad, for whatever reason, the Worsham stuff. Those people were 2 weeks later.
What was that? The Worsham stuff, okay? The Worsham stuff is, there has been several witnesses, from my understanding. I learned about this from a post in a Facebook group that a lady swears that she saw Kathy Bowersock's vehicle at a store around 5 a.m. at the Worsham's. It's like a corner store type of thing. From my understanding, I'm not there. I've never set eyes on this store. Oh, hey, Crime Stories. It's nice to see you, love. It's nice to see you. So that came out. Somebody was just in there and like, man, you know what? I saw this SUV, and she's talked about trail cams and stuff like that, but she never came back to tell us what she found on those trail cams. She may have turned those trail cams over to law enforcement. They may have Kathy Bowersox in her car waiting on somebody near Sebastian's school at an odd time in the morning. So, you know, there's definitely something not smelling right here. Just saying. Just saying. So, when we've heard that, again, I never heard from that lady, and I remember talking about it. Remember this? This was like over a month ago. For the people that are here with me from the beginning of this case, you guys remember me talking about how this was unverified information about possibly seeing Kathy Bowersox's car near the school at a convenience store. And I told you guys I'm watching this lady to see if because she was going to go speak to the people because she knew they had trail cams, and she was going to see if they would let her look at it. She said that she got permission to go out there and look at them, but we never heard any more from her. And I had no idea. Well, we're learning through this live that sounds legit. And it's unfortunate that somebody, you know, it was 2 weeks after this investigation when it started heating up that we started hearing from this. She started with a C. I want to say her name was Cindy or something. I can't remember her name, but I remember her posting. And I bet you I still have the post in my reel because I got so many screenshots. I got to clean out my screenshots. But I need to put them in order, so I need to get them in my file. But this Worsham's, guys, it might be something. It might be something. It sounds like something. So we need to look at that. It does seem like it may be. I can't say it's a fact yet because I don't know. But it sounds like it could be something. So we need to pay attention to that. Anything with the Worshams, anything with the Bowersox, anything with the Bowersox being by start clipping that stuff and getting it over to me because I want to keep a record for it when it is confirmed. We can follow the story.
Again, I don't even know. I'm trying to ask that. Nobody will tell me.
But they're still not confirmed. They still have not confirmed that it's a criminal case. They've actually said the opposite, that it's not a criminal case yet.
Who'd you hear that from?
They've never released that it was a criminal investigation yet. So on day eight, they withdrew and they pulled the searches back and they turned it into an investigation with a possibility.
Did you guys hear that? Day 8, they pulled the investigation back. Did you guys all hear that? Did you guys all hear that? Day 8, they pulled the investigation back. Let's listen to that again. I want you to hear that because this is what I've been saying as well. Let's listen.
So on day eight, they withdrew and they pulled the searches back and they turned it into an investigation with a possibility of foul play.
Isn't that funny? You know what also happened on day 8? Oh, thank you, Lisa. God bless you. God bless you. What about the dark green truck in the driveway? Lisa, can you send me that? Can you send me that to my email where the green truck, this is the first time I'm hearing about a green truck in the driveway. Because, you know, there's been a lot of rumors at the beginning that Katie was having an affair with somebody in the community, and of course I sent some people out there to do some questioning, and none of the neighbors had heard or seen this, and so I'm like, okay, well, everybody was asking me about it, and I'm wondering if that might lead to answering that question or might lead to another person of interest that we can look at as possibly an accessory of some sort. But this is the first I heard of it, Lisa. Thank you for the contribution, by the way. But this is the first I've heard of it. If you have any information about this green truck, let me know, because I will start investigating it immediately, just to let you know. There's talking about a red Jeep. CP has a green truck. I don't know if CP's truck is green. It looks like It almost looks black from one angle and like a deep bluish color from another angle. It's a dark color, but I don't know if it even has a green hue to it, though. It is? Okay. CP has a green truck. Huh. Is it a different green truck than the one that we were seeing it displayed in the photos, that the camper photos? Out of curiosity. This one here. Hold on, let me see if I can put this. Is it still up at the? Hold on, let me see if I can find the one with the truck right here. Is it right here? This one. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know if that's. Hold on. Let me share this one. Let's blow it up. I don't know if that truck is green, Sasha. That looks like a either dark black or blue truck. Let me see if I can make this. Let me put this down. See if I can blow this up a different way. It won't let me. Oh yeah, it will. Okay, so let me see if I can get it blown up. That's about as big as it's going to let me blow it up. So I don't know. And does he have another? Sasha? Maybe you can answer this. Does he have another another vehicle that we're not thinking about, or did he just recently? Nope. It's a deep forest green is the color. It is his truck. Okay, so they're saying the truck is green. Supposedly it's green with racks at the back. So we definitely know. Okay, so VA Dynamic is saying supposedly it's a green truck with racks in the back like the ones lawn maintenance people use. Maybe she's having an affair with the lawn man. I'm just joking. It sounds like Chris does the own lawn. He doesn't like being in the house. I don't know if that's true or not, but he seems like a runner. Sebastian may not be a runner, but we definitely know two people that are. They are talking about Donna Sephora saying about the truck. Okay, so that's how stuff gets, started as. So maybe there is a green truck. Who knows? I hear Donna. You know what? There's a lot of people in this in our chat here that absolutely loves Donna. I can tell you, she sponsored a trip for Summer Wells for us to follow Donna's map on a couple places. Believe it or not, we found something shocking, but it wasn't. It turned out not to be anything, but there was something freaky. It freaked me out. I'll tell you that. No joke. That's no joke. And so there is some, but I hear that she's been fairly spot on. And I actually spoke to Donna personally. I've spoken with Donna personally when I was out there in Tennessee looking for Summer Wells and using her map. And the way she explained it to me, she said that when she gets her visions, she can't really tell you where they are. She can only see what she needs to see, and she's got to now try to find what she visioned on a map. And so that's why she has so many different things circled on a map, is because she sees something and she's got to go to a map and see what areas would describe what she saw. So, this green truck, does it have any relevance? I don't know. This is the first time we're hearing of a red truck, and with all the camera footage out there, could it have some meaning? Could it have been a transfer vehicle, maybe not at their home? Is there a reason why she's seeing this green truck? There very well may be a reason she's seeing this green truck, right? So maybe the green truck is a work vehicle that Chris Proudfoot was able to get a hold of, right? We don't know. There could be many possibilities, but this is the first I'm hearing of a truck at their home. I have not heard of any type of green truck. This is literally the first time, Lisa. So if you can send me what you find, I will dive into it. Honestly, I will. And I would like to know, because if a green truck is true, that I could theorize how. I can easily see how for me. Okay, so let's get back. We've got about another 2 minutes of this. And then we'll open up the phone lines.
Criminal, but never converted to a criminal.
So I'm going to stop y'all right there. So when I asked Sumner, and I was talking about the searches, and I want to commend them first and foremost. The reason why they said they wanted everybody to stay out of their way and they didn't want no volunteers in this is because
that's what I was was saying. It's like, I've looked at that truck pretty closely, and I'm like, it's blue. I don't want to call anybody, because when you're not physically there, you're going off photos, you're going off other people's work. And if somebody's there and they say, oh, it's this, how am I going to dispute it? I'm never going to call somebody a liar unless I've seen it with my own eyes. And this, thank you, Terry Lynn, for that. I do appreciate it. So it is a dark blue. So if there is a green truck, folks, it's another green truck. But again, from my understanding with my conversations with Donna, if she envisioned a green truck, there may be a green truck somewhere in the story. It doesn't necessarily mean it was at their front door. Just I from my conversations directly with her, that's how she expressed it to me. So take that for what you will. I would clarify that, but I'm pretty sure she's going to tell you, unless I misunderstood what she said, I'm pretty sure she's going to tell you guys pretty much the same thing. Yeah. Thank you, Casey. Thank you. Yeah. We got Chris's truck is a dark blue, for all of the folks out here.
It had been already raining there, and there was 3 key areas they were honing in on. And they said in these areas, there was already wash on some of the areas, like where the water is and stuff. He said, we just wanted people to stay out of it because of contamination. He said, we needed every resource that we have available to us to be able to do what we've got to do. It's easily contaminated. And he said, so by having other people in this, we needed people that would specialize in certain things. He said,
yes, that is it. And just FYI, I had some opportunities to review some of the paperwork that's been touted as being Tony. And I don't know if you guys noticed that some of the paperwork identifies this Tony Mathis as a black male in his 40s. Obviously not the same Tony Mathis. So I also want to caution people that are peddling some stuff. Please read the reports. Please and thank you.
Let me say this. He said, I wish we could search every day. He said, we can't. He said, these are volunteers that hold positions within our organization that either they could be jailers, deputies, whatever, the emergency management specialists, they're all people that have actual jobs at the end of the day within the system. So they can't afford to take that resource and keep them out there. He said that they did not, and he was honest about this, that
did you guys hear that? They cannot afford to keep a resource out there. This comes back to my drum beat. Oh, old Rusty's up in the house. Nice to see you. I see Unicorn. Nice to see you, B. Betty. So this comes down to exactly what I have been talking about for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Right? Is the fact that Tennessee is broke. Remember when we had Summer Wells? Yeah, the person I saw wasn't black male. He was SR. Then definitely not the same person. I can tell you that. Definitely not the same person. So I can tell you with 100% certainty because I've done my research. But where was I going with this? What were we just talking about? Hold on a second. Somebody's going to have to restart my brain. I witnessed the truck in person. Yeah. Yes. Terry Lynn's out there, and we know that Chris hasn't been kind to her at all. So she's absolutely said that. But yeah, I would just, I mean, if you find something, find something. I'm not deterring you at all, but I'm just saying I would be very cautious. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that's accurate at all. So there is that, but just be careful with what you're getting. There's a lot of mudslinging right now. You've got 2 camps, and unfortunately, Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot has the felons. Okay. You got to remember, I always tell you, whenever I come on here, I always monitor where the parents are going. Are they going to trash channels to try to back them up? Or are they going to good channels to try to get avocation, right? And so the Proudfoots have managed to go to every trash channel. So that tells us where they're at. They're not on good channels. Good channels will not have their nonsense. So they've got to go to these trash channels to try to get their message out because nobody will entertain their BS other than these trash channels. Well, these trash channels are filled with a bunch of people that don't mind doing illegal stuff. They don't mind interjecting crap into investigations. They don't mind manipulating information and peddling it out there so people get misinformation. They don't mind throwing things out like, oh, Seth Ard Katie when she was 12 years old. They don't mind doing that because they're trash. That's why we call them cockroaches. Okay? And so now the Proudfoots, we know where they're going. They're going to cockroach channels. We know how the cockroach channels behave. So you have to be cautious with anything and everything that you are reading and going through. Trust me. Been around the block a time or two. One of the things is, I promised you guys I'd clean this up. So a lot of cleaning it up is educating people on what happens. Removing the BS from the audience. So we have to be careful.
They had no luck when it come to the searches. That it seemed very strange that if he would have walked off, he said, now again, this is me saying this on a non-professional level, that if this child
Non-professional level. So that means that was off the record, dude. Just to let you know what lingo is. They'll probably never talk to you again. Should have kept that out.
ran away or he walked off, we would have had some sense, some hit.
So they know. So, I mean, he's telling us law enforcement is absolutely looking at that home and the people in it. And I'm constantly hearing online that Katie and Chris are being talked to regularly by law enforcement, yet Seth is not. We know in cases like this, law enforcement blocks the families out, just like the public. They don't really share a whole lot. They'll only share what they're willing to share with the public, and that's it. That's it. So when we hear parents are being handled, right? When they're getting regular contact, that in and of itself to me is key. Because if it wasn't directed to them or constantly having to reach out to them to clarify this or clarify that, they would not be getting contact by law enforcement. They would be in the same boat as Seth, where they're blocked out. So when I hear them say that they're constantly, even after 2 months, regularly speaking to law enforcement, that's telling to me. That's telling to me. Sorry, it is. It's telling to me. So take it for what you will.
It was nothing, ever.
But that's still okay. But it's still
to tell you that is crazy.
Yeah. It's
Now
still
that-
yeah.
I have no reason to doubt you. I don't know you. I have no reason to doubt you, but
So they're going to get into this. I'm kind of done with that conversation because they're going to start getting into where they're, questioning whether this is true or not, or whether he, it's hard for me to believe that you just walked up there and, it's people just need to get out from behind the computer and do some of these things. I wish that they, even if it's not something that they want to regularly do, I wish every creator would go out and do some of these tasks so they know what's involved in them, so they can find, you know what I'm saying? Because because they can't, like, he's going to have to try to explain it. Nobody's going to believe that he had a conversation with law enforcement or whatever. The ones that want to believe it, believe it. The ones that don't want to believe it, won't believe it. I can tell you, I believe it. I've had the experience. That's all I can say, right? You either believe me or you don't believe me. It's one of those things. And here he is defending himself for this. I don't defend myself. It's one of those things. This is what I found out. Here you go. If you want to fact check it. And he's actually saying, fact check it. Call law enforcement. Call up there to Hendersonville Sheriff's Department. There's a lot of people doing it right now because, like I said, I anticipated this being the case, that the community is getting antsy. I'm trying to give strong, legitimate suggestions to law enforcement here because they've got to do something. We've been around the block a time or two to know that this is kind of getting to an all-time high with frustration and animosity. And at the end of the day, they have got to have a better communication with the public. This is a worldwide case. Even though mainstream media is not covering it, it is being covered by the millions. Okay? There are millions of people all over this country tuning into this case. Thank you, Lisa. I'll check it out in just a few moments. All over this case. So you've got that. Whether mainstream media is dribbling the ball or social media is dribbling the ball's still dribbling. So at the end of the day, public relations has got to be created here before this gets out of hand, and it gets so far out of hand that the law enforcement, chop their nose off to spite their face. And it's unnecessary. Give people the factual information that's already been released, if nothing more. They've got to do something. So hopefully they're going to consider doing something, because this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And I see why mainstream media is dipped, right? They're not going to be fighting with law enforcement. We got 1,000 other cases. But this boy means something to the people here on social media. We're going to still dribble this ball. We're going to still be demanding answers. And we want law enforcement just to tell us what they can. It's not, we're not asking for too much here. I don't think the public is being unreasonable. But I tell you what, if they want to keep ghosting, they're going to get a good dose of why every law enforcement across this country has public relations. I will tell you that. It's about to be a big dose of reality for law enforcement. But hey, they did it to themselves. Just send it, just press release, just send it, create a nice little thing, send it out to the public. It's literally that simple, and they refuse to do it. So I want to make that notable here. All right, guys, I'm turning on the phones. This is what I'm going to do because we have almost 1,000 people in chat right now. I want to thank everybody that has been really keeping it together. And you guys, I've been watching your chats. You guys have been doing a beautiful job at expressing yourselves and not being nasty to each other. So I want to just tell the entire audience, thank you for that. I've opened up the phone lines. It's right here, 724-249-6140. I'm going to ask everybody that calls, please limit your communications to about 3 minutes, if we can. This is Betty. Oh. Well, hello, Doug from Tennessee. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I've got a situation on this thing. I think it's a scam.
You do? What makes you think that?
Okay, if you check the GoFundMe page and see how much Seth has got on his GoFundMe page.
Yeah, the GoFundMe. What? Yes, we raise money. We raise money for people here. I'm so sick of this being
$25,000.
Yeah, I would have asked him. I would have asked him to raise that to $50,000 if I was working on it. To be honest with you.
But if you get it through PayPal and Venmo, it's not detectable like it is on the GoFundMe.
That's not true. They just changed the law so they can only collect about $5,000. I do my own taxes.
But if you got other people doing it for you.
No.
And I just got a feeling they got into it over the money.
They might have gotten into it over the money, but I'm telling you, when you have cases like this, you've got to have liquid funds. I'm sorry, you have to have liquid funds.
Well, I don't make $12,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe it's a scam. I believe it's a scam. They got that little boy.
I'm not entertaining that, Doug. I do not believe it's a scam. This man has literally been without work. He's been out there searching for. How do you think this? Do you think shirts just make themselves? Do you think flyers just make themselves? Do you think time off work makes themselves? Do you think buying lunch and water for your searchers pays for itself? Do you think your bills go away whenever you have a missing child? I mean, Doug.
Okay, he don't make $12,500 a month. There's no possible way of being a security guard. They're scamming the people of the United States.
I am not entertaining this, Doug. I'm not going to entertain it. Not going to entertain it.
When it comes out,
I'm not going to entertain it, Doug. I'm not going to listen
The
to
little
you
boy,
drag this family that needs to raise funds for all kinds of stuff, private investigators, everything. Doug, you're being unreasonable. You're being unreasonable because if this was you and you had a child missing and you had to take off work and you had to buy things and you were freaking broke, you need funds. You yourself would be raising funds.
Well, if that was my son, and that man whooped my son with a belt, I would beat his ass. That's just the way I am.
Okay, well, he can't do that unless he's going to jail. Do you want him in jail or do you want him fighting for his son, Doug? Come on, let's be reasonable here.
But the man sits up there and making friends with the guy, and they know where his son's at.
They're
The
trying
man's
to
making
find
friends with
the
a-
son. Do you understand this all goes in with finding the son? Two people have...
You don't
You're wrong.
you don't work with the enemy.
You're wrong.
Yeah,
You're
you
wrong.
don't work with
You're
the
wrong.
okay.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Doug. I'm sorry. I agree with most of the stuff you say,
That's
but you're
why
wrong.
the cops is going. That's why the cops is going to a different situation. They're finding out it's a scam, and they're fixing to come down on all
All
of
right,
them.
Doug. I love you. Come back
All right.
tomorrow. I can't. I respectfully disagree. I just pissed Doug off. This is Betty. This is Betty.
Hello.
Hello.
And hey, it's Terry.
Hey, Terry. How you doing, love?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, after I like Doug, and after having to have an argument with him, my feelings are hurt.
Well, I wanted to let Doug know. Doug, there's a PI that was paid for. There was a PI that was paid for. There's an attorney that had to be retained. And guess what? Guess what, Doug? Guess what? With that attorney, there was records that were not being produced, but he was able to obtain. It's not, listen, he's got a kid that's missing. Nobody has seen. I wished a lot more people would come out here every day and search instead of sitting down and having all these opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not taking up for him at all because, and for me, this is about a missing child. Adults can fight it out later.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But
I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of everybody going to the money
nothing.
saying scam, scam, scam. I'm tired of hearing this nonsense. We raise money and resources for these people. If you don't like it and you think everything's a scam, then don't contribute it. Don't be part of the scam. I'm going to still, when it comes to these things, I'm going to still perpetuate these GoFundMes for these families, and nobody's going to stop me. And I'm sick and tired of hearing scam. This costs money.
Yes, I agree. How much did Doug contribute? I'm just curious. I'm asking, just for friends.
I don't want to dog on Doug. I mean, I like people, but
No,
I'm not going to have people say this is a scam. Not on my channel. You're not gonna turn my channel into something that's going to hurt this family. Absolutely not. I put my foot down. That's.
And I agree. I agree. And like I've said, we don't know the emotions. I've never lost a child. I've never had a child go missing. But I've searched for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, come help. I'm begging you, come help.
Yeah.
I can tell you how many there are out here. There's 3 of us. Come help us, please. Please.
Yeah. And then, guys, if you guys are in the area, the searches have not stopped. I want to be very clear on that. The searches have not stopped. Do you guys meet at a certain place? Can I help get more people out there with you guys?
They can have my email address. I'll give them my email address. They can email me.
Okay, well, give it to me, and anybody that wants to be part of search efforts, you know, the search doesn't, the search hasn't stopped. We got people out there every single day looking for this boy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's SKYLA, KAYLIE, B as in boy, ELLA @gmail.
Okay, all right, Terry.
I answer every one of them.
Well, thank you, and God bless you, love.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, Doug, for coming down on you, but you can't do something that's going to hurt a family. Not on my channel. This is Betty. This is Betty. Hello.
Hello, Betty.
Well, hello there, my love.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Where are you, and where are you calling from? Who are you? You know what I'm asking you.
My name's Lindsay, and I'm from Kentucky.
It's nice to see you, Lindsay. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I hope you are too.
Thank you, yes.
I just wanted to say that I support Seth Rogers 100%. He's out looking for his little boy. It's hard to be at work and look for him at the same time. I've always supported Seth when it comes to the little boy. You know, he has been missing since day one, and his daddy's been looking for him since day one. And like you said, it takes money when you're out there, and how is he supposed to do both things? He cannot.
Yeah, I know this business like the back of my hand, and I don't even want to call it a business, but it is. You know, we have a job to do. And I can tell you, me flying all over this country takes a lot of money. And I can tell you, him having to take off a job and not have that money, not have that PTO time accruing, not have that those gift benefits that you get for being he's taking a major loss. Never mind the fact that he's got to print shirts, he's got to print flyers. He still has to drive there every single day that he's out there. You know, he still has vigils. You know, those things. Everybody thinks everybody just donates this stuff. People donate the money. You still have to buy it.
Exactly. You still have to buy it. And like I said, I support Seth. He's not shown me nothing like Katie and Chris has. Chris's actions has been from day one, from the get-go. You can see that for yourself how he treated Sebastian.
Yeah.
Them social worker papers, them CPS papers, they don't lie. They don't lie. There's abuse in that home. I think he's in my opinion.
That Seth's face looked white as a ghost when he couldn't talk about it, and he says, "I know what happened inside that home." I looked there. That was all I needed to hear. I heard everything I needed to hear from that man. I heard when he made that statement. I heard that there was consistent, multiple. You know, that's what I heard when I heard him say that.
Yep, you know? Me too. And when I heard him read that, or talking about it, my heart hit the floor because I knew that he didn't know either.
Yeah.
And the only reason he's been trying to work with Katie and them because he wants to find out where his son is. And if they've got him, and they've got him hid, of course Chris would be, him and Katie would be the go-to people, but they're not going to tell where he's at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now that it came out this morning that Sebastian had talked to the grandmother on, Katie's mom the night before he goes missing.
I know, and that just brings right back that brings two theories right up just from that thing there. Was this premeditated, like she's giving her mom the last time to speak to him, or is this something where grandma decided to get delusional and say I want to be with my grandson and snatch him?
Well, this is what worries me. You know how Chris was coming on there and he was mad as hell about them bringing that out on Katie's mom. Mm-hmm. Well, why was he so mad? We know she's RSO. We know that. Was it because he knew that phone call between Sebastian and her happened?
It might have been. There's something that happened at the 72-hour mark that flipped this case on its head and took it to a different direction. That's what we learned. And it appears that it might have been a video that was related to the change.
And if he's with her, that's a big problem. It's a big, big problem. She is a RSO. And if people can say what they want to, I don't want my child around no RSO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, love. Well, thank you so much for calling and giving your perspective.
Well, I just want you to know that we watch you, me and my family, does every morning. And we support you all the way.
Aw, thank you. God bless. God bless.
You too, and you have a nice day.
You too. This is Betty.
This is Rusty Shackelford from Tennessee, and pay no attention to Doug. But if you would, say he's crazy without saying he's crazy.
Well, I kind of like Doug. He's part of the family over here. We're all a bunch of nuts, but I can't have something that's going to be detrimental.
Well, he doesn't represent all of Tennessee. I'll put that out there right now.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But to make things crystal clear, this is what strikes me. I feel the boy is being moved from place to place because Daffy Duckfoot made the comment, do not bring those dogs on any of the family properties or theirs.
Interesting. You're right. He did say that.
Yeah. if you don't want the dogs there, there you go. That's where you need to be looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, this about the grandmother and finding out the grandmother is SA.
Yeah, that's
You know,
to hear that happen from a woman from so long ago. It blows my mind. But I think we are all stereotypical that we just don't. It's hard for us to conceive women doing this stuff.
right. But, you know, to me, and it's kind of strange as well that his mom and stepdad decide to take a vacation the day the boy disappears.
Yeah.
And you ever watch Sweet Tea with Don B?
Yeah, he's nice.
He's the one that, and coming up in several days, their house is about to hit the market.
Everybody said that was all BS.
Nope. It's about to hit the market, but it cannot hit the market until June 1st.
Unbelievable.
And Don B is the one that pointed that out. Be on the lookout for this because they're probably going to lawyer up.
Oh, I absolutely believe it.
And it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you, but it's weird. You know, 3 months, not a sighting of this boy other than the one possible picture. But it's also kind of strange, too, because the sighting of the picture is not far from where Katie's mom lives.
Yeah. Wow.
A lot of things to kind of look at there.
Yeah, it's definitely circling around a very notable group. You know, it seems like there are other people involved in this, not just. It seems like there's multiple family members, in my opinion.
And another theory, too, because I haven't seen anything about teachers or even his classmates speaking out. But, you know, school's about to let out a session. Wouldn't it be strange if he just showed up out of the blue because of that?
Yeah, it would be. I hope he shows up. I hope he shows up standing up, you know? That's...
I'm hoping for the best. But, you know, I feel for Seth wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Because I'd be doing everything in my power to find my kid if that were the case.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much, and God bless you, and thanks for calling in. And please call back in if you have any other information you'd love to share with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. God
And
bless.
big fan of your work, too.
Aw, thank you. God bless you.
Bless you. Bye.
Oh, that was nice. Well, I'm glad. Okay, let me turn my phones back on. I had some other people. So a lot of people said your voice was very calming. Just to let you know, since you're watching, thank you so much for that call. I do appreciate it. People keep asking if the green truck is a real lead. I'm going to say no, it's not a real lead. I did find out it came from Donna. It very well may be something, but we don't know. Oh, look who we have. Hold on. I would like to present to you Mama Bullhorn. Mama Bullhorn has the floor.
How are you, darling?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. Still don't have a car. So yay me. But hanging in there, Ma.
Well, your sister has a cracked motor mount.
Love that
and a
stuff.
cracked gasket.
Ah, love that stuff.
Yeah.
But I would much rather have a cracked gasket at this point because at least it's a known problem that can be fixed. Like, I don't even know where my car is. I guess I'll roll the dice and see when the mechanic's going to call and give it back to me. I don't know at this point. Anyways.
Well, I am so sorry for you, baby. As you know, I'm not home, but the lieutenant said if you want a car,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Let's move on with work. I'm not borrowing cars. I'll rent a car.
Okay.
If I accidentally wreck, it'd be my luck, Ma. You know that. I take one of your cars, and it'd be the one time I get in a freaking wreck.
Oh, well, anyways, what I called to say was I totally agree with this last caller. one, he must be in the psychology field or the medical field because his voice is hypnotizing, or a religious field. It could be. It could be. There is no hit with the dogs. And I said for a while, they put him in a car and took him somewhere. But they could be shuffling him around. You know, they could have put him on a riverboat. You don't have to have a passport to get on a riverboat and cruise around for.
But why?
weeks
It
at a
always
time.
comes back to me, whenever I hear these theories pop up about, him and the family move shuffling him around. The question is why? If they didn't want him, Seth was going to take him. Why would they want to go through all of this to get rid of a boy when all they could have done is just literally drove him to his father's?
You know where I come from, darling. And some things that happen don't have a reason. They just do it out of ignorance, stupidity, vengeance. Some of it can't even be explained. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We have two options here by this time. One, he's somewhere being hidden, or two, he's out of this world.
Well, Ma, you know what? I'm not going to say anything, but, Chris Proudfoot does remind me of someone. And I would like to ask you, do you think it's Katie or do you think it's Chris?
I have said it from the start. It is Katie. She snapped. Something happened that night. Either Chris was already home there on his motorcycle for the weekend, and he drove back to work and got his truck and came back. I don't know. But I do know, and I agree with somebody on here this morning, there's stuff in that Brinks truck. But Brinks is a security company. They're protected under law to protect. If there's stuff in there that has technology that holds information on their clients, they cannot let the cops in. But I swear to God, I bet Katie has put some stuff in that truck, the cameras, the drives, whatever, CD cards or the SD cards. There's stuff in that truck, and she knows full well that Brinks is protected. So I think it's her. I've said it from the start. It's her. She snapped. He came back and cleaned up. And that's why they are just like, they're following the book of Dawn and Candace Wells.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is following Dawn's actions, and Katie is doing exactly what Candace did, just following along like she's got a ring in her nose and pretending.
Wow.
I get passionate. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But we had another tornado here.
Too far from the tree there, youngin'.
We had another tornado here last night.
Oh,
and I was worried about your sister. But yeah, right outside my bedroom window, a tree split in half night before last. And
you guys have a room there that doesn't have windows, right?
Right. Yeah, we have two, actually three. But
and you guys know to get in the tub and cover
yourselves.
And
yeah. Okay. We have the walk-in closet and two bathrooms.
Okay, just making sure you're safe. I don't want to be going and having to kick a tornado's ass. Okay. I have a funny feeling it's going to throw me around.
But anyways, there's a lot of flooding, a lot of downed lights, a lot of traffic issues. But we're okay.
All right. Well, it's great to hear, Mama.
I'll be home in June.
I might have my car back by then. Hopefully. Reportedly,
I'm so
allegedly.
Oh, I never dreamed I would have this life. But anyways, I'm planning a trip with you when I get back. Well, I've got my car. It's got good wheels on it. You just think about it. Okay, girl.
All right, Ma.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let me go ahead and add that in here. There we go. Get that mess out of there. All right, guys. So that's Mama Bullhorn. Do we have we still have the phones? The phone's open. This is Betty.
Morning, Betty. How are you?
Good. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Tracy in Florida.
Hi, Tracy in Florida.
How are you? I just asked you that. Oh my gosh.
I'm doing all right. It's Friday. It's Friday. How can we be upset? It's Friday.
I know, right? Okay, so it is my firm belief that I think something happened in that house. I heard the other caller talk about that the house is going up for sale. I think that Katie didn't necessarily flee or try to get away or whatever because she was harassed. I think Katie left because the trauma of what she did in that house and she can't face it. And I believe that's the reason why she left and why she refuses to stay there alone. And now that the other caller talked about they're putting the house up for sale, I believe that's why they're putting the house up for sale, because she can't face what she did and she doesn't want to be in that house anymore.
I can't even imagine. But you're probably right, because they left that house I've never in my life seen two parents run away from home so quickly, ever.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I heard people saying, well, they said they got away because they're being harassed and all that stuff. Everybody in this case is being harassed. But the thing about it is, you don't see people, you do see people driving by and taking pictures, but you don't see people outside their home harassing them and everything like they're trying to play up. They had to flee for their safety because these people are coming after them.
Bullhorn Betty's cars broke down and everybody knows it.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole thing about, they fled because of fear for their life in their own home. Give me a break. They had cameras installed. You don't see people stalking them at home, and it's 100% because something happened in that house. She didn't want to face it. She didn't want to, be there alone because of what happened in that house, and that's the reason why they're selling it.
Well, we did learn Chris was at work. He was at work at 5:15. So, literally, there's really only one person left.
Right. And think about it. I believe whatever happened was probably maybe the heat of the moment. She didn't plan it to happen. It's just she got angry with him. Things got out of control. She lost her temper. She did something to him. She panics, calls Chris. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And Chris, helps her getting herself together or whatever. You got to pull yourself together. We got to do this. We got to do that. And that's the reason why she looks at
scratch marks. He's got a lot of scratch marks on those arms.
Yeah. So
that implies to me Woods, y'all.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I think he was the cleanup man for her. She started it. He finished it. They're in this together. She can't face the fact of what happened in that home. And now she can't really go back to that home because of it haunts her what happened in that home. And now the home's going up for sale.
So it makes you wonder if law enforcement hasn't done forensics and the house is going up for sale. Law enforcement better get on it.
Mhm. Exactly.
Anybody buying that house, I hate to tell you, they don't care. They don't care if you own it now. They'll go in there and rip all that drywall out. So the new owners,
Mhm.
you better be prepared.
Yep. Yep. I really do. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's unfortunate that this case has turned into a drama fest that it's turned into because, you know, either it's just sad. It's really sad. This little boy needs justice. And I believe that whatever's going on, I think the police have more eyes on Katie than what they want to say. They're not saying a whole lot and bringing attention to Katie right now because the best way to snatch someone up is to make them feel comfortable. So I believe that's why we don't see a lot of heat right now on Katie. But I believe the police know.
Mm-hmm. Well, they definitely know a lot more than we think they do. I absolutely feel confident in that. So, well, thank you so much for calling. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Have a great
You're
day.
welcome. I hope you have a great day.
You too, hon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, that was the end of what I can do for today on this live. We're almost at 2 hours. So you guys had me for quite some time today. I want to thank you for coming by and checking my channel out. If you like it, please consider becoming a member or a subscriber. Don't forget to like and share me around. We've been diving into this case. I've been diving very, very deep in this case. I want to keep everything factual. I don't want people going off the rails. I really think that this case has enough drama with just the details of the case. We don't need these outside influencing and poisoning people's minds with misinformation. I'm doing my absolute best to make sure that you guys are not misinformed at all. Okay? It's hard in a case like this because there's been so much stuff peddled around. So if I can't, or you guys are talking about something and I'm not talking about it, if you bring it up, I'll tell you why I'm not talking about it or what the reasons are that are making me question it, or if I'm trying to still work on validating information or something like that. It's one thing coming up here and listening to people. You can't control who calls on your phone. You can't control what those people say out of the phone. But there's one thing here on the Bullhorn Betty channel is whenever we are backing a victim or a victim's family, I don't want to hear scams, because if I'm backing that family, I can guarantee that right there has been eliminated. Everything is above board. I will not get myself involved with a family that is scamming. I have not, if I have even smell a scent of it, because that's my reputation in my channel that's on the line when stuff like that happens. So you're not going to see me promoting something that's absolute BS or a scam on this channel. And I'm sorry, a father of a missing child that we've seen out there literally in the woods. We've watched him get hurt. We've watched him bare his soul to the public. We've watched him break down multiple times. He's passed a polygraph test. I am effing over it. I'm over it. We run a clean ship over here. You know, there's a lot of garbage channels, cockroaches out there misinforming their audience over petty BS to get attention. I don't need attention. I'm Bullhorn Betty, okay? We do what we do. At the end of the day, this is not a scam. Seth needs that money. There's a lot going on, and he is fighting Chris and Katie with not a whole lot of resources. So we're going to continue to represent that GoFundMe. They've kind of stopped all funding anyways, just to let you know. They're not really accepting anything else. Everything's been shut down. So what he collected is what he collected, and there's a reason why he did that, because of the tax consequences. Because he got a good person with a good head on their shoulders to tell him, you just can't be willy-nilly collecting this money unless you want to pay a shit ton of taxes at the end of the year. Sounds like a pretty smart person, huh? Thank you, Tony. Not the idiot that everybody thinks he is. So it's a long time coming, but we are kind of getting to where it seems like there's going to be some information. I'm praying to God, and I do have faith with the fact that this is kind of about to, like, the volcano's coming, you know. I'm hoping that law enforcement doesn't make it erupt before they get it contained. I hope that they just come to the podium or send out a press release outlining the facts and the details of this case and getting everybody back on the right page. This is about Sebastian Rogers. This is not about pissing contests with anybody. No, I'm not going to let cockroach channels come up here, be unblocked or anything else. If you are on my block list, there is a reason. You are a piece of shit. That's why you are on a blocked list. So until you turn from being a piece of shit into a normal human being, you will not come off the block list. If you don't like it, quit being a horrible human being. Pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. We're here for the victims, not the drama. So guys, God bless, rock it out, TGIF, we will see you soon. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, please be kind to one another. The one thing that people here on these social media platforms keep forgetting. And when people are rude to you, you kill them with kindness. Unless you're Bullhorn Betty, then you just side-eye them till they freaking explode. I don't know. All right, guys, have a great day. God bless.
From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.